10, 219, 219.
Forward Progress, a Chicago Bears podcast with Dan Bernstein and Matt Abeticola on 312 Sports.
We give you Forward Progress on 312 Sports. It's a Chicago Bears podcast brought to you by Beer Church Brewing, New Buffalo's brewery, pizzeria, in a historic church. Wood-fired Neapolitan pizza, small batch craft beer, brunch every day. Visit beerchurchbrewing.com. I'm Bernstein, that's Abeticola, and we were told that we screwed up on Friday. That we had Paul Charchian on, and we didn't refer to him as Beer Charch.
Oh, that's good.
I got to own that one. We definitely should have put that together, and that we should have had Beer Charch for Beer Church. But alas, we did not. What we have is a first-place Chicago Bears team. They have taken the North. They've taken it. Now,
will they give it back?
That's the question.
Yes.
For the moment, they have planted their flag. They have established their dominion over the North at 7-3.
So the Bears have won 7 of their last 8 games. Let's go back to that collapse on Monday night at Soldier Field to the Vikings. And that guy and that team.
I don't know how that happened.
Week 2, they get completely rolled by the Detroit Lions.
Embarrassingly.
Who have since then been up and down and up and down and up and down. This truly is the season of the NFL blob. It really is.
And the Bears are blob kings.
They are. I mean, they are the blob kings of the NFC North right now. And would you have thought after that 0-2 start that the Bears would be 7-3 after 10 games?
You joked about 7-2, remember? Remember we looked at the schedule and you kind of did 7-2, my friend.
That's right. I totally did. I totally forgot that.
And then you made are you Bernstein? Are you predicting they're going to be 7-2? And then you forced me to get all defensive about it because
right.
I said I looked at the schedule and I said, the schedule, not what we thought it was. Kind of sketchy.
We were on target outside of the Ravens game, and I had them losing to the Ravens, thinking that half the team would be injured still, and would rattle off 7 in a row. But they won 7 out of 8, and they're 7-3 right now, first place in the NFC North.
Mm-hmm.
And they're not really a very good team at times.
They'll tell you that, and it's
amazing.
Okay.
It's amazing.
And let's just live in the real. It's okay. I argued on Dan Bernstein Unfiltered earlier today. It makes it more fun. Be blob kings. It's okay.
Yeah, it's who you are right now. It's what your roster has, and in the areas of defense, they're bad in some things, but the things that matter quite a bit in this league, they're very good at. Red zone offense, they're very good at. Third down efficiency, they're very good at.
Taking the ball away,
they're very good at. And that can help a team that isn't very efficient on offense consistently and considerably bad on special teams, with the exception of yesterday's return. That those areas of defense can help a team that gives up a lot of yards, that can also get a lot of yards but not score a lot, not very efficient in the red zone, scoring touchdowns. That can help a team in a blob season become 7-3.
They had been bad when it comes to penalty discipline as well.
They've cleaned that up.
That has been cleaned up in the last couple games. And usually teams like this can win at home but not on the road. Usually there's a lot of things like, well, you get away with that here. It's not going to travel. All this stuff's going to get exposed when you're away from home. It's not the case with this team.
It's not the case. They have one on the road, and you look at yesterday's game, the Vikings are 1-4 at home. They're not good. They're not good. And, and we'll talk about them a little bit later as we look around the NFL, but there would have been a change in Minnesota. And we'll talk about that. But I wanted to stay on the Bears here for us as we start things off. We have some audio from yesterday's postgame that I want to go over. A couple from Ben Johnson, and then a cut from Caleb Williams, and then some questions to ask you, some things to get into about this team. So Ben Johnson yesterday, after the 19-17 win over the Vikings, he met the media as usual, and he was asked about getting the ball back with 3 timeouts in 54 seconds. So this is, prior to the kickoff return.
What they were thinking.
I feel really good about that situation, regardless of the kick return. 50 seconds, 3 timeouts. We've been there before. We practiced that situation, I think, It's where our offense is playing very comfortable football right now as well. So, I think we felt pretty good going into that one, regardless of that return.
All right, so how did you feel about the team at that point?
I felt good.
54 seconds.
My first thought was you left them too much time.
Okay.
That was when they scored that quick, I was actually pleased that they didn't milk more clock. And I saw 50 and 3 timeouts and actually felt pretty good. So
given what the Bears have done on the return game, I was kind of looking out and thinking, all right, if we have to go 75 yards, for a touchdown, but you don't have to go that far for a field goal. I didn't feel as confident as you did.
And usually I'm not confident.
And usually it's the other way around. I just didn't feel as confident. I just thought, all right, this is one of these seasons we're going to look back and go, those 2 Minnesota losses are really going to bother us.
This is where it gets exposed?
This is really going to haunt us for this season as we look, and the Bears are on the outside looking in with one game maybe making a difference. And we're going to look at these Vikings. That's what I was already picturing in my head. These 2 Viking losses that shouldn't have happened. One at home, one on the road. We gave them both away. And then we get the return. The return happens, and I felt much better. And I'm like, okay, maybe this is that stupid season.
Well, and
that's ahead of schedule.
You said it in our post game yesterday, and thanks to everybody who was a part of that and is an ongoing part of our Forward Progress post game shows here on 312 Sports on YouTube. You said it, that the fact that it was set up to start left and veer right, that it was the first time that we had seen Duvernay get up to speed.
Yes.
That we'd really seen him on a full gallop. And Josh Blackwell, who had a terrible penalty earlier in the game, had a critical kick out of that block on that side when they realized it was headed that way. And the first time we've seen Devin Duvernay matter positively.
Yeah, and so they set up to return left with the play going right. So they set it up correctly, and they get those one-on-one blocks, and you have to execute and do your job. And if you do your job, you open up lanes. And it was the first time, as you say, that he was up to full speed. Normally, it's been, I'm going left, I'm going right, I'm trying to find a lane. And he just went right, full speed, and didn't break stride the entire. I mean, it was great. It was set up perfectly, and it was ideally called. I'm not sure why we haven't seen something like that before. Maybe they have tried to set it up and they just didn't execute their blocks.
I thought he was going to house it.
I did too. I did too.
The moment he got by the second line, I thought he was going to house it.
Yeah, then I think maybe 55, but there was somebody flying, wearing a defensive number that was flying down.
And no penalties. Because for whatever reason, and I don't know if this has been like an enforcement edict or a concentration this year, there's always a penalty.
Yeah.
It's always illegal block in the back or a hold, and they're looking for it. And it bugs me because I like to think on the backside of a play, if it doesn't actually affect the play, you don't have to have the same filter on it. That gets really annoying when there's a ticky-tack call far off from anything material. But we come to expect it now.
Yeah, and looking at the special teams too, the Bears, their special teams are 31st in the league on kick returns, averaging 28.7 yards. They're 26th on net average on punts at 39.5. So it's been an Achilles heel for the special teams the entire season in just giving up kick return yards, whether it's the punt or kickoffs, and to finally see it happen in a positive light for the Bears was really important for Richard Hightower and his unit. But I still think that there need to be some significant changes. Unless, and there's still a lot of football. There's 7 games to go. And maybe, like we've seen, the offensive line needed time to gel and get together. Maybe that unit gets together a little bit better to maybe save him his job. The only holdover from last year's regime is Richard Hightower. Does he do enough in these 7 games? Does the unit do enough for their coach for him to remain with the staff?
I think you got to look to upgrade there.
Again, we'll see what these next 7 games tells us. Ben Johnson was also asked to evaluate Caleb Williams' game yesterday. Williams was 16 of 32, 193 yards, 2 sacks for 13 yards, and a rating of 68.9. And this is how Ben Johnson answered.
Hard to say. I got to look at the tape.
That's it.
Hard to say. I got to look at the tape.
Now, he's gone out of his way in other press conferences after games to mention good things Caleb has done.
That was pretty terse.
Yes.
Hard to say. I got to look at the tape.
Was it terse or was it brusque?
I bring it up and wanted to play it, even though it's a couple seconds long.
Hard to say. I got to look at the tape.
Because I'm really curious to hear what he says today.
Yeah, it's like, I know. I know it wasn't great.
Yeah. I'm really curious to hear what he has to say about it today.
And he was waiting for that question. He knew it was coming. He's like, I got because right on it. We got to shut it down.
So, I'm learning Ben Johnson speak, and he's addressed Caleb's game in other post-game press conferences and says, I need to look deeper in the tape. I need to look more into the tape. But he'll have some things he'll pull out. And then there's been other games where he's gone back and watched and said, here's some really positive things that we saw on tape. I'm really curious to hear what he has to say today.
I've enjoyed your little the learning curve of how to speak Ben Johnson. I picture you with like a Duolingo or a Babbel app at the end of every day. It's like let's go through your daily Ben Johnson phrases, and now that you're sort of building a library of his moments, the pace, the tone, the words that what he chooses to engage on and what he doesn't. I'm enjoying watching that part of it.
Yeah, because I think to me it says something that was his answer yesterday. He could have very easily elaborated if he wanted to. He was there. He saw the game.
I thought he did a nice.
Right.
Anytime you play Brian Flores, there's going to be some exotics.
Right.
We have to. It's loud. There are all kinds of automatic mitigations
that he could have said
in there,
and he did. It was very deliberate.
Hard to say. I got to look at the tape.
Well, okay then.
Yeah. So I'm really curious when he meets the media today to hear what he has to say about his quarterback and his play.
I would ask the question in this way too. I would say, Ben, yesterday when asked about Caleb, you were very quick to say that you had to look at the tape. Now that you have looked at the tape, like you got to bring that back to him.
Yes. Yeah, for sure.
Yes.
No, that's really good. And then one cut here from Caleb Williams. He meets the media after Ben Johnson, and he talked about the offense and what's yet to come.
The special talent that I know that we have is there, and it's a confidence builder for me to be able to trust them and put the ball in the right spot at the right time. And it's only growing, and we're at the halfway mark of the season, or 2 games, or 1 to 2 games past it, and we haven't scratched the surface of how talented, how special we are on this side of the ball. And I'm excited to show it. I'm excited to showcase it. I'm excited to get up every single day and keep grinding with these guys and showcase it at the end of the day. And I think that's coming up. And you get little glimpses of it throughout games and throughout the season so far. But it's coming.
So it's coming.
Was there a follow-up?
No,
because that's just begging for specifically. I think he's talking about Colston Loveland.
You do? Okay.
Because I see it too. As a receiver, he contorts his body and controls his body like a wideout.
He's got great hands.
It's not just his hands. It's turning his shoulders. He's got a couple special things there.
Yeah.
And people bounce off of him.
So that question was asked about, it started about Luther Burden and about the trust that he's gaining with Luther Burden. And then Caleb took it into a turn and make it
okay, I'm glad I know that.
Yeah,
okay.
He turned it into a more blanketed statement. Broadened it with the team and the offense and what they do and all the special talent that's there. And again, along the lines of what Ben Johnson has been saying, that they're not playing their best football and that he expects them to be playing their best football come December. So we got a couple more games here this month and we get into December. And again, wait to see that, to evaluate it. Is it the best football that this group of players can play that I have on my roster currently? Is it what this Chicago Bears offense can expect to look like as we move forward? Is it just these players? So when Caleb Williams says it too, obviously they're talking about it. And it sparked a thought in my brain about looking at the offense currently.
It's a good place to have a thought sparked.
In my brain.
Yeah, because sometimes it ends up elsewhere and
sometimes
you have to have it removed.
Well, sometimes they start in my stomach.
Yeah, you got to be careful. Well, that's true.
And then it's like, all right, I need to feed it.
Right. So,
so that's where it
nourish
goes.
the thought. I just want to make sure.
Bear stuff's up here. Food thoughts are down in my belly. And then when I got to go to the potty and stuff, it's a little bit lower.
Got it.
Yeah.
Got it.
So you know all the areas now.
Yep. Thank you.
So this whole idea of each week it's a different guy stepping up. So I'm curious, is it something that's happening because that's what the defense is dictating? Is that what the game plan is calling for? Is it specifically what the play calls are designed to do and go to whichever player Ben Johnson wants highlighted? You know, he talked about the different progressions that Caleb reads, and that there are plays he calls where the number one guy sometimes is a Dunze, and maybe I need to call it other guys more. Because he talked about that specifically about Rome. Or is this an ideal offense where you have multiple guys getting the football?
The play
at
is
various
the play. Everything else is subservient to the right play. And if the right play means it's your turn, then it's your turn. That's the question. Is it Jimmy's and Joe's? Is it X's and O's? And the answer, of course, is both. Mm-hmm. Of course, it's both. And that's why you get feedback. And you want to hear within a game, it's part of a head coach's job to manage that. Sometimes if it's a guy you trust, he's like, hey, I can take this guy. Line me up as one-on-one on the X side. Like get everybody in a three-man bunch over here. I'll be over here on the X, and let's run whatever the name of the play is. Let me have a shot at that. And sometimes the coach, depending on score and situation, will be like, okay, I want to hear that. I want to know.
And I think with Ben Johnson, though, hopefully he's a step ahead of that and sees it before a player even comes to him. So just looking at the Bears' 7 wins and the leading receiver from each of those games. Mm-hmm. The Dallas game, it was Luther Burden.
3 targets, 100-yard game.
3 receptions, 101 yards. Raiders game, it was Rome Odunze. Had 4 receptions, 69 yards, 8 targets. Commanders, it was Luther Burden again with 51 yards. The Saints, it was DJ Moore. Had 43 yards. Against the Bengals, it was Colston Loveland, 118 yards. The Giants, it was Odunze with 86 on 10 targets. And for the Vikings, it was Cole Kmet at 45 yards. So you had 5 different guys as your receiving leaders in those 7 wins. And then looking at where they stack up in the league, Luther Burden has 19 catches. He's 138th among receptions. Rome Odunze has 39, is 39th. He's your highest. DJ Moore has 31. He's 73rd. Looking at the tight ends only. Colston Loveland with 24 is the 32nd ranked tight end. And then Cole Kmet with 16 is the 39th ranked tight end. So nobody who is in the top 10, top 20, top 30 for receiving leaders from your team. So is this just an offense that's growing? Is that a mark of a young wide receiver that's coming into his own, or Rome Odunze, Luther Burden still learning the NFL game? Is it on Caleb Williams, and he's still developing and growing, learning this offense, learning how to play NFL quarterback?
Well, I also think you have to take the number of catches that Olamide Zaccheaus has.
He has 32, which is 65th in the league.
I would redistribute those among the others, because going forward,
and namely Luther Burden, Colston Loveland, it seems.
I would say look at that trend and find that redistribution. And this also is not an offense that throws to the backs that often. That there are some, I mean, the year like Matt Forte at 100 and some catches. Usually it's a bad sign if running backs are catching a lot of passes, because it means there's a lot of checkdowns.
Oh, like the Dallas game. There's your guy,
Ferguson.
Jake Ferguson.
Jay Ferguson is the guy who sings Thunder Island and has the perm and the mustache.
What did he have? He had 17 receptions or 15, something stupid.
Yeah, I think it was 13.
Yeah.
There's 13 on 15 targets or something like that. Yeah, but I want to see the passes go to the wideouts, because that means things are working. And I kind of count Loveland as a wideout the way they use him. Mm-hmm. He's really, Cole Kmet is the tight end.
Yes.
They use Loveland much more like a big wide receiver.
Yeah, I mean, he still has plays designed where he has to block and open up holes. But yeah, he really is more that hybrid type receiver, tight end.
Yeah, which
he should. It should
cool.
be. Yeah. Yep. He's got the skill set for it. So when Caleb says that they're just scratching the surface and it's still yet to come, like when is this? Is it this season, like Ben Johnson talks about, their best football? I looked at the roster and looking at the offense, Dan, and you know the starters. If they're in 11 personnel, 11 personnel, 1 running back, 1 tight end, and that's Cole Kmet. That's how it's listed on their depth chart too.
Right.
Who are you taking out of who are you replacing on that? On that starting 11 personnel.
Who am I replacing? And replacing with whom?
That's what I'm asking. Is it someone that's not here yet? Is it because really when we talk about the roster, this starting 11 is not going to change a whole ton. When we talk about the roster that I have right now, this is our best football. This starting 11 isn't going to change much.
I think DJ Moore is out.
So you find a guy for DJ Moore. Yeah. Is it something we look at in free agency? Is it something they look in the draft and he won't impact next year? So really, if we're looking at it, it's really the 12 personnel. And the 12 personnel with Loveland and Cole together, DJ's out, Luther's in.
Okay. That sounds if things work out well, especially from a cap perspective, I'm not sure what dead cap would be. I would need one of the cap people.
Mm-hmm.
Cap people. We would need them in here to do that. But I've had some issues with DJ Moore's overall production.
Yeah, and I just don't know how healthy he is.
Whatever the reason.
Yeah. Yeah, but, because we've talked about this now, and we hear Ben Johnson say, our best football. Now the quarterback's saying it's the best yet to come. We haven't scratched the surface. A lot of talent here that I can see that we haven't shown yet on Sundays. It's not going to change much.
No, I'd like to shore up.
This roster's not going to change much as far as the starters are concerned.
No, I'd like to shore up Theo Benedict a little bit, whatever that's going to take, because his bad plays are real bad. He has plenty of good in there. And I know they trust him more. I also want to say that the point that I made yesterday on the postgame about the fact that Trapillo came in for him when he left. Braxton Jones is on IR. So... thanks to the people who pointed that out.
Sure is, isn't he?
Yes, who pointed that out, who said, well, Dan, it's really not that interesting.
Yeah.
And I emailed the guy back. I said, you are absolutely right.
100% correct,
I said, thank you for that correction.
Yeah.
You're right. I am wrong. And it makes it very much not interesting at all. But I would like to shore that up. And sometimes he just doesn't get his hands engaged quick enough. Like he's just not throwing his punch. I don't want him short setting.
Yeah.
But I would like him to stay balanced, to stay with his knees bent and time up that punch.
So looking at it, it's interesting, and that the 11 personnel, even 12 personnel, on my list, there's one I have circled, and the only one I circled was Theo. He's the only guy that I thought would be a realistic change in what they're going to do, because the rest of these guys are the starters. Now, is there a different running back to be had? Is Kyle Monangai going to get more carries and become a feature back over DeAndre Swift after this season? Is there another guy to add in free agency? Is there a guy to add through the draft? But outside of that, it was just Theo. And we'll see how he develops and plays over these next 7 games. As long as he stays healthy, he's in there. But that is one area I could see them address in the draft, and I hope they do in the draft.
I'm not at the draft yet.
Yeah, I know. But I'm just looking, because we've talked about it, that when Ben Johnson has said that we haven't played our best football, and we look, all right, well, what's the roster going to look like? Offensively, it's not going to change a ton.
No, I want to see Burden get more touches.
Yeah, I know, I do too. I
really
agree.
do.
I agree with that.
He had a bad drop, but boy, he's twitchy.
No, he's got great hands. He's got really strong hands.
But
he's hard to bring down.
Twitchy, explosive, sudden. He's sudden in a way that some of the other guys aren't.
Yeah.
You get some of those, like the fluid long strider type. Burden is well muscled when it comes to his ability to spring himself suddenly. I like that.
Yeah, so I don't envision them in the offseason going after a big name wide receiver. Like this is what it looks like moving forward. Like when you're looking at that 12 personnel with Loveland and Kmet in there, and then Burden and Rome, this is who it is. So they talk about our best football in December. That could be a vision of what this offense looks like for the next few years under Ben Johnson.
Well, then Caleb Williams can't miss deep balls.
Yeah. So it all falls back down to Caleb and his development and his ability to start making this offense look better.
Yep.
I know there was the drop games last week.
No, he was overthrowing deep balls. How many times did I write down?
At least 2, right?
Early on.
If not 3?
Yep. It was 3rd and 9 in first quarter. 3rd and 9. Overthrows Roma Dunze. Punt. Chicago overthrows DJ Moore. Punt. That was on the failed screen to Luther Burden. They're too many of those.
What did you think? There was a couple on the first couple drives, a third and whatevers with like 30, 40-yard passes.
If he's taking that shot because somebody's open, I don't have a problem with it. Just hit it.
Yeah.
Hit it. And I know that's what Ben Johnson wants him to do. I'm not asking for offensive conservatism. I'm asking for execution.
Yeah.
Make the play. If it's there, you got a completely different game. And maybe that was the game plan, that they saw that. I mean, they had these guys open. It's not like he's throwing into double coverage, expecting somebody to draw pass interference, coming back through the defense to make a play. Those are open receivers. What separates the team now, or the reason they haven't outscored their opponents, we start looking in the playoffs. That's it. That's your day. That's you're one and done in the playoffs if you miss those.
So after the Steelers and the Eagles, so the Steelers on Sunday, the Eagles on Black Friday, the 2:00 game.
That Eagles game, boy.
And, Ben Johnson has said, we'll be playing our best football in December. So that is at Green Bay, hosting the Browns, hosting the Packers, at San Francisco.
The San Francisco game might be huge.
Yes. And then hosting the Lions for the last game. That's in January.
Yeah, and who knows what playoff positions are set, who's resting whom at that point. But, man, that Niners game might be really important in NFC seeding.
Yeah, and when you look at it and how the roster is constructed right now on the offensive side of the football, this looks like it's going to be it moving forward. So I'm really excited to see when they start playing their best football. And I think what that looks like.
He's trying to get a feel, I think, Johnson is, for the running back split. I think he's trying to sense and to look at situation, matchups, personnel groupings defensively, when there may not be our 4th series is our Monungai series, or
right.
the 3rd series is the Monungai series. I know some coaches do that just to say this is your chance, your turn, almost like a preseason game. But maybe it is going to be more situation and matchup dictated, or dictated by a given play, depending what responsibilities lie therein.
And then we just want to put a bow on this game from yesterday, the Bears win over the Vikings 19-17. I listened to the Vikings press conferences.
Okay.
KOC and J.J. McCarthy. J.J. McCarthy, his thoughts on the game yesterday, I thought it was really great.
Absolutely sucks. Absolutely sucks.
That's how he walked up to the podium, and that's how he started. He just walked up, and he goes, absolutely sucks.
All right, good for him.
It was great. No, it was really good. But KOC was asked about replacing J.J. McCarthy. Like the game yesterday, we saw how bad he struggled. Mm-hmm. But when it mattered most, he gave his team the lead. Okay, so that drive, I think, saved him some opportunities here looking down the road. If Carson Wentz was not injured, he would be starting their game this next week. That's what I fully believe they would have done. I mean,
based on his answer.
Based on what he said, he was asked about replacing J.J. McCarthy. He said, I'm not going to get into all that right now.
Okay.
That's how he answered it. Now, outside of McCarthy, it's Max Brosmer.
I was just going to ask who's behind him.
So you're not starting Max Brosmer.
That's a made-up guy.
Carson Wentz wasn't injured, he would be the starter looking at this team. And where they're at right now, 4-6.
They had Sam Darnold and Daniel Jones.
They have at Green Bay, at Seattle, versus Washington, at Dallas, at the Giants, versus Detroit, versus Green Bay. They're currently 10th in the playoff picture, behind the Panthers and the Lions. They're 1-4 at home, 3-2 on the road, 2-1 in the division, 2-3 in the conference. If they had these 7 games to go, these 7 conference games, with Carson Wentz still there, he would have been starting. I guarantee you that. This kid is just not. He's not ready to.
Wentz was no great shakes either.
He wasn't, but you can trust him more than J.J. McCarthy to make passes. I mean, his vision is off. His footwork is off. I mean, you saw so many missed passes yesterday.
I thought,
and that's
some of the velocity choices were off.
Oh
too.
yeah. Even I wanted to bring that up with your guy Brady. either Tom Brady went to school or someone sat down and talked with him. Because did you listen closely to him yesterday?
I did not find him objectionable.
He was not annoying. He was not objectionable, and he was actually very football-y. Like he had, I think someone gave him a list of football terms to use to sound smart.
He mentioned a cheetah cadence that I hadn't heard before.
He talked about violent hands. He talked about climbing the ladder.
Not violin hands.
No, violent hands.
Violent hands. Okay.
So someone got to him with football terms and made him sound very football-y yesterday.
Jargony.
Yes. And it paid off a little bit.
And jargon is fine as long as you explain it. That's why when we had Tim Jenkins on and he was talking about
the machete
samurai versus machete,
yeah.
And I got to wind it back and be like, all right, tell me what that is. I want to know. Help me learn football. It was always my thought around coaches as well. I want to come away from a press conference understanding more about the game than I did before.
Yeah, so I thought he got more jargony yesterday, and he wasn't as annoying as he usually is. But I think someone got to him, or he made team meetings this week. He did something different, but something was different there. But the Vikings at 4-6 with these 7 conference games ago, I think he would have definitely made a change. I heard that in his answer. I'm not going to get into all that right now because there are no other options. And it's JJ or bust as far as this season's concerned for Vikings fans.
Speaking of changes, I know we wanted to talk about what's going on around the league. I also realized this. I want old Ben Johnson back. Not Ben, excuse me, Dan Campbell. I want old Dan Campbell back. Because play calling Dan Campbell is so different, where he's got his glasses on, he's in the play sheet, and he's not running around.
Yeah, you like Meatball.
I like
Dan
Meatball Dan Campbell.
Yeah,
this is like studious on the headset, looking at the sheet. He looks professorial, and nothing against it. It's his choice that he wants to do all this, but it's not the same. It isn't the same to see him with his nose buried in the card, looking at the next thing and trying to. I want him stomping and romping around the sidelines, talking to people and motivating guys.
I think it's 2 weeks now, right?
Yeah,
it's the second week he's done this, and it just every time I hear it during the Lions games, it's just weird to me.
It's not the same. Like, you look up like, oh, what happened to our guy? Why is he look?
He's
so,
not angry anymore.
He looks so bookish.
He's not yelling.
No, he's too busy. He's just busy.
Yeah. Oh, that's funny.
And the glasses and everything, like, I want him looking more like a player. It's more fun that way. It's all right. Look, if they feel they have to do that, and they were struggling, boy, you just hit Goff, man. Just hit him.
Yeah.
Just hit him coming off the bus. Do something to him.
Yeah, I didn't like
dude.
What I saw last night from the Eagles defense, knowing that that's 2 games away. Not excited about it.
Although the offense is janky.
Yeah, there's issues there.
The Eagles' offense is definitely janky, but yeah, the defense is. There's some bad intentions, and there are some the guys with their hand on the ground.
Oh, you know what? I was surprised too.
By the way, Lane Johnson, Lisfranc is probably going to be out for a while, maybe the season.
Oh, yeah.
So that's good news for the Bears to not have to have one of the best pass blocking tackles of his generation out there.
I was listening to the Vikings yesterday, wanting to hear what they were going to ask KOC about Justin Jefferson, and they never did. He was never asked about it. And
interesting.
Jefferson did meet the media briefly after the game, but he did it while KOC was talking. So I'm not sure what media members don't go and listen to the head coach.
Well, ideally, you're staffed enough to have a locker room person and a press conference person.
Yeah. So because at first there was a report that came out that Jefferson just left without speaking, but he did speak to a couple people that were there to talk to him while KOC was meeting the media, and he wasn't asked about Jefferson at all. And Fox was very, very deliberate in showing Jefferson on the sidelines a few times, slamming his helmet, looking pissed off, sitting on the bench. And that goes into the whole idea of going into this week. I don't love football as much as I used to, or I need to love football as much as I did. And there's a lot of stuff outside of football. So I'm really interested to see how that all plays out, because he didn't have the Justin Jefferson games that we're used to seeing this year. Certainly not yesterday. And I wonder if it's just all a byproduct of J.J. McCarthy's season.
I don't know. There's a lot of that going on last night, too, when talking about the Eagles and looking at Saquon Barkley's rushing yards being down. And they had mentioned, well, we talked to Barry Sanders about rushing for 2,000 yards in a season and then what it does to you after and winning and all this. It almost was excuse-making, I thought, for Saquon. Sometimes, you know what? It takes a huge toll on your body. Sometimes it's just hard to have that many carries and be beat up as much as you are. And a lot of it, too, is that I thought they did a nice job describing some of this stuff about how when Collinsworth did, when Jalen Hurts isn't running, how it allows your numbers to be much more normal.
Oh, yeah. They talked about that.
As far as box count and just as far as matching up the guys in the gaps, that when you know he's not going to run, you can defend other guys.
Yeah, and he ran a bit more yesterday. I know there was one first down that he gained on a 3rd and 6 or 7. That was pretty important. I think that's when Collinsworth highlighted that. But it's a very different team when he is running and there's plays for him to run.
And that gets back to the Caleb stuff too, because we do this all the time. We're always excited about running quarterbacks, and then we have the same conversations. Well, this is what quarterbacks do now. Everybody has to be these running quarterbacks. But the league beats it out of you. Jackson Dart, Mahomes, ask anybody, even Lamar, you get beat up. And even the best of the best of the best, sir, rushing quarterbacks have this truth, the gravity of the pain and suffering of the running quarterback is undefeated. It happens over time. It's just a matter of when, not if.
Yeah, and a few weeks ago, I made the comment that I heard Ben Johnson in his comments saying that he wanted Caleb to run less from the pocket and to get the ball in the playmaker's hands. And there was some disagreement about it that Ben wants him to run more. And then we heard Ben last week say that there's missed opportunities, even when the house is on fire, want him to stay there, a step or two longer to make that play so we can get that explosive play. Because he doesn't want Caleb running for 10, 15, 20, 25 yards. He wants the ball thrown to a receiver in stride, in his scheme, so he can get that 25, 30, 35, or take it to the house play.
Well, that's also why I want to get left tackle short up. Because too often somebody is getting through on that side and changing the timing of everything, because then he's got to do that Houdini spin.
Yeah, and I went back yesterday, and it was the play on the game-winning drive, and it was the second down play where it was a loss of 2. Right end comes out, and that's what he tossed Theo down to the ground like he wasn't even there, and made the play in the backfield. I just wanted to go back and double check that it was Theo, because I think Ozzie also checked in on that play as eligible. And I wanted to make sure it was Theo that it happened to. But yeah, that needs to get cleaned up. So again, if you're looking at the starters, there might be a couple opportunities for some changes going into next year. But this is what the offense is going to look like. These guys are healthy. This is who you have, and I'm excited to see their best football to come in December when it's going to matter the most.
Well, we're almost there. We got 2 more weeks and we're
2 more
there
games,
and then the Bears' best football.
Our next, our upcoming game is the Steelers on Sunday. We need to hear more information about Aaron Rodgers, the possibility of surgery on that injured wrist. If there's surgery, he's done. He could play on Sunday. He could miss a game. So we'll see how that all plays out as this week goes on.
Is that done?
Well, if he has surgery, I'm going to say he's done.
Like that's time to
it's got to be
go
it,
away
right?
and back to his dark place.
I mean, because he's looking his age as it is now. I can't imagine what another season-ending surgery would do to a guy trying to rehab and come back for another year.
I mean, non-throwing hand. It's not
exactly.
I know. It's not like another Achilles.
Yeah, shoot, how much? Eventually he's going to start throwing 2 and 3 yard routes.
Now they were 11 and now they're down to 5 and 6.
No, he's under 10. Like 90% of his throws are under 10 yards. So he's going to, it's going to be all backfield stuff behind the line of scrimmage. You're going to take, which Bears was it? Was it Trestman? No, who had the, we're going to throw the ball behind the line of scrimmage
John
playbook.
Shoup did that.
Okay.
He had a lot of that.
Gary
Croton had some of that. Right, all the slip screens, all the tunnel stuff.
So that's what we're going to start doing with AA Ron, is just thrown behind the line of scrimmage eventually.
Well, Mason Rudolph acquitted himself okay.
He had a touchdown and rating was high, and he had some yards. But I mean, he's 30 years old. If he was going to be a guy, to be a guy already.
Don't take this as
I'm not. But I'm just saying,
full-throated endorsement of Mason Rudolph.
No, I know.
I'd rather he play from a Bears perspective, of course.
Okay, I'd rather face Aaron Rodgers. I do. I want to see the Bears kick the shit out of Aaron Rodgers in a Steelers uniform.
All right. Is it worth him cutting it to ribbons, though, if it goes south on you?
But it's not going to go south. He's not going to do
Listen
that.
to you.
He's not.
He's not going to do that to these guys.
Not
Okay.
to these guys.
All right. Well, I was the guy who was optimistic when they got the ball back with 50 seconds left. So I guess we can take turns.
I wasn't until your guy, Devin Duvernay, proved me wrong.
Yeah, I still want to upgrade that spot as well.
Yeah, I hear you.
Okay. There's a note here and I'm just curious of what it says, because we did not talk about this before we went on.
Yes.
You just said, could a record be broken?
Yeah, so I was looking at defensive numbers yesterday after games were all played, and Myles Garrett has 15 sacks on the season, leading the league right now.
Mm-hmm.
There's I can't remember, who was it? Burns, maybe?
Brian Burns?
From the Giants, has 13. But he has 15 sacks with 7 to go.
How many does Benito have?
He's under 10.
Because holy crap, do they get off the snap?
Yeah, I want to say 9.5 maybe.
Jeez, do they move?
Yeah, they're the fastest team to sacks in the league, the Broncos. And they, going into yesterday's game, had 70 as a team. And they were, we're going to keep an eye on that because they have a possibility of breaking the 86 Bears record of most sacks in a season. But Myles Garrett at 15, and the sack record of 22.5.
Strahan?
Wasn't it Watt?
Oh, you're right.
Right,
yes,
TJ Watt.
Strahan
and that was just
career for
like
a while,
4 years ago, yeah. So he needs 8 sacks in 7 games. 8 sacks in 7 games, Myles Garrett. Could he break the record? So I looked at his teams that he's playing. He's playing the Raiders. They have given up 27 sacks. That's 12th in the league. The 49ers at 24, 19th in the league. The Titans have given up 41 sacks, and that's 3 games away. So if he can scratch out a sack, even one a game the next 2 against the Raiders and the 49ers, or get 1 in those 2 games, he can go to town and eat against the Titans and maybe get 3 or have a 4-sack game. I mean, he's had a 6 or 7-sack game in his career. He's motivated this year, and it's showing in his play. And I know the Browns are a bad team, but they're not terrible defensively. Then they go to then they play the Bears.
I was just going to say, as long as it doesn't happen on the 14th, maybe.
And then the Bills, the Steelers, and the Bengals.
Okay.
So some quarterbacks that don't move very well to end the season, if Rodgers is still out there, and then Frankenstein's monster is still playing in Week 18. But he has an opportunity with his upcoming schedule to maybe break an NFL record for sacks in a season.
I want to finish up with this note, too. I just want to make sure. Well, first, let me tell you about Beer Church and how awesome it is. You know that how great it is. I know you were just there, and I've enjoyed it too. It is, if you like pizza, and you more than like, if you appreciate pizza, you have to have what Beer Church is making, or what you and your friends can actually make in their authentic wood-fired Neapolitan pizza ovens there. It's so good. And the pizza making parties that they can do, it can be for a handful of people. It could be up to 300 people. But you learn all about the way the dough is set up and proofed and aged, and how you stretch it and why you stretch it, and the ratios of the ingredients to get everything just how you want it. And I've said before, there's no delayed gratification, because that pizza oven is so damn hot. It goes in there and it is crackling and blistered and ready to go, charred on the outside in like 3 minutes.
I timed mine. It was 228.
228 for your pizza margarita.
Yes.
That's all I want to. I'm kind of a purist when it comes.
Excited.
When the ingredients are good, that's all you need. Yeah. Because the flavors are just so incredible, and the crust itself. I ate every bite, every bit of crust.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Everything. Like, there are times where I might eat the middles and then leave the crust. I just shoved everything in my mouth as fast as I could because it was that good. And they've got all of their awesome small batch craft beers that you can pair with everything. You can do the pizza party and check it out. Just Google Beer Church Pizza School. Get that class booked. and make sure that you've got the room for it. Tell your boss or whatever, say, hey, next party we do, next group outing, whether maybe you got a sales team, maybe you want to take care of clients or whatever it might be, that's the place to do it at Beer Church in New Buffalo, Michigan. It's just a quick trip from Chicagoland and Northwest Indiana. You can't miss it. It is, I got a picture right here. It looks like this. That is the Civil War era church. Drink, eat, repent, repeat.
Can you open up to the pizzas? Is the margarita pictured? I think it is, right?
Well, let's see. They've got, that's the one with the bresaola, the prosciutto on it. And, there's the margarita right up there in the corner. See that? The picture you took, actually, is amazing. Like, they could use that one. It's amazing. And, you see all of these. These are all their different pizzas. Just wonderful place.
Read the Philly cheesesteak pizza. I'm going to have that next time I go.
Philly cheese
on the right side of the column.
Pizza. It's Philly with whiz. Slow roasted chopped beefsteak and provolone, house made beef stock onion crema. Oh, God. So that's almost like a French onion soup kind of thing.
Yeah.
Is what that sounds like. Wood fired peppers and banana peppers topped with fried onions and a cheese whiz drizzle. Yeah. Yes, sir. That's Beer Church. This is Beer Church, and you got to check them out. Go to beerchurchbrewing.com, beerchurchbrewing.com. Go there, go to the website, enjoy.
Just thinking of something. It took like 90 minutes to get home because it was Sunday morning traffic. I can drive from my house to the city for dinner in 2 hours.
Mm-hmm.
If I just plan it when it's a non-busy traffic time
and just zap out there,
just for lunch or dinner, I would do that.
Well, like from downtown, if you left right from here instead of going from Libertyville,
because that's Wisconsin.
Yeah, time that. Oh my God, time that out and just run over there. But I wanted to mention this and we'll talk about it tomorrow. But I really think the theme of this week, when we start hearing from them after tomorrow, once we're back on Wednesday,
when they turn the page,
I think the theme is how Ben Johnson straddles this line of we're 7-3, we're in first place, the record says we're good, and understanding that they may not be that good, and how he can sell both the confidence of the standings and the fear of how much work they have to do to sell both of those things, to work on both of those channels simultaneously as the head coach of the Bears. That's what I'm looking at this week.
Yeah, because if you look at the current playoff picture, Dan, the Bears right now would host the Packers in the first round. The Rams would host the 49ers, so two divisional matchups, and then the Buccaneers and Seahawks at 4 and 5. Eagles get the bye. But if you look at the teams and their percentage right now to get in the playoffs, the Bears, despite leading their division and being ranked and being the third seed in the NFC, have the lowest percentage of making the playoffs still of all the playoff teams as of right now. Even a lower percentage than the Packers.
Okay, but that still kind of seems right to me. I do think they can beat the Packers. I don't know that they can beat the Lions, and I don't know about the Eagles.
Well,
but the Packers don't scare me.
The Lions at home. The way I've seen the Lions play this year, up and down, because they've been two different teams from week to week.
Well, they're a different team if you can hit their quarterback.
And so you have that game at home on week 18. So you play at Green Bay first, and then you host Green Bay at Philadelphia. Yeah, I don't like that game. I don't mind going to Pittsburgh. I don't like going to Philadelphia. I don't mind going to Green Bay, hosting the Browns. I just don't want Myles Garrett to eat. You host the Packers. You're at San Francisco, which is going to be a tough game, and then you finish with the Lions. It's going to be fun. 7 games.
It is.
A lot can happen.
It's going to be fun, and we're your place covering all of it. Forward Progress, a Chicago Bears podcast on 312 Sports.
Yes, it is. It is 312 Sports.
Oh, man, I gave it. It was right there.
I wasn't ready, damn it.
It was right there.
I was trying to find it.
Close it out. And then I got it. Somewhere over here. Okay.
10, 219, 219.
Forward Progress. A Chicago Bears podcast with Dan Bernstein and Matt Abaticola on 312 Sports.